Hello everybody, I'm back with the second video, Fun Facts with Amani. Hope you guys had an amazing day. Hope you continue to have amazing days. All of you. Okay, so fun fact number 2, character view number 2, I'm doing Josie McCoy, or Josephine Josie McCoy if you're curious about her real name. But she's a fictional character off of the hit show Riverdale, which originally aired in 2017. I'm sure the trailer came out in 2016, so I was probably in ninth grade or just finishing or one of those. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna give you a small idea of Riverdale. I'm not gonna give you a whole review. I'm not gonna go on and on because this is not a Riverdale review. I'll do that for another video. But I'm just telling you a little bit so you understand where Josie comes from and you understand where her name evaporates from. You know, she has an interesting name. But okay. Riverdale is based off of Archie Comics. Archie Comics is a comic book series which was founded in 1939, but the characters weren't originally written until 1941. So, basically, well, first, the main characters in the Archie comic books, according to Google, Eddie Cooper, Jughead Jones, Veronica Lange, Reggie Mantle, Josie and the Pussycats, Sabrina, I'm sure Archie Andrews, and I'm sure Cheryl Blossom, because they're literally main characters in Riverdale. So I don't see why they wouldn't be in the book. But I don't know. You know, shows and movies based off books don't be accurate sometimes. So could be completely wrong. If I am, I will correct myself, or you can correct me in the comments. But for now, those were all the main characters in the comic book. So, of course, they brought it to life, which is now, ta-da, Riverdale. They based it off of that. And of course, Josie came to life, and the Pussycats. So, yeah. Now, Josie was described to be a redheaded, I'm assuming she's white. I'll put a picture, and you can determine that yourself. But she looks white. So she was a redheaded white girl, and the Pussycats were white as well. I'm not sure of their hair color types. I'm sure it was probably a brunette, or blonde, or black hair, you know. But, so, that's how they are, that's how they look in the comic book. But when the show came, 3 black women were casted, which of course came with backlash. Because people are like the ones who know Archie comics are like, no, Josie is not supposed to be black. Her background dancers or the Pussycats aren't supposed to be black. Ashley Murray, I hope I'm saying her last name right. If I'm not, I apologize. She's the one playing Josie. Of course, she responded. She responded back more than once because some of these fans get out of hand with their racism. So she responded back. She was just like, you can tell she was fed up. Now I'll put the the link. I'll put the link. But yeah, so they were upset. But of course, again, they're not gonna just trade her out because racist people are mad. The casting directors obviously wanted 3 black women to play them. It is what it is. These are fictional characters. So, on to the next. So, Josie was present for season 1, season 2, season 3, and she was considered a special guest star on season 4. But that's because she had left and she went to do a spinoff. So, of course, she had to leave Riverdale. Of course, they came up with a storyline to kind of just write her off, so it just wouldn't seem like she vanished, you know. So that's one of the reasons why you didn't see her in season 4, except for the opening. And based off of Google, you didn't see her again. So, yeah. But if you wanted to see her again, you could have just watched the spinoff she was on, which is called Katie King, which is now canceled, unfortunately. But I suggest that one too. I might do a review on that later because that was a good spinoff. But anyway, so Josie and the Pussycats are a group. They're a group. They're a trio. Not a group, trio, I mean, sorry. And they all sing Josie's the lead, which explains the name, Josie and the Pussycats. You know, that explains the name. So, Josie In the book, they described her as scattered brain. She's like, she means well, sweet, nice, you know, the usual. But in the show, Google description, I mean, not Google description, the Riverdale fandom wiki page, they described her as just, and I hope I'm saying this right, ambition, and she was ambition. Just know she had ambition. I cannot say that word. I don't want to even try and make a fool of myself. But she had a lot of, she had a lot of ambition. She really wanted to be a singer. And then they use another word I never heard of, snooty. Never heard that word. So how they described her in the show was just two simple words. But the comic book, they described her as multiple things. So maybe the writers were being lazy. I don't know. Or maybe they were being racist or something. I don't know. But yeah. So watching the show faithfully before Corona and before, I lost track now. Like, now I have to go back and kind of review the show because stuff has been off air for like so long because this coronavirus stopped productions. You couldn't film nothing, so I gotta go back and just review. Well, they'll do a recap, but I'm like, oh Lord, what happened last season? Because again, been on quarantine for so long. Stuff's been on air for so long. But anyway, so in season 1, she came off as she was very determined to be a singer, and she wouldn't go above me. She wouldn't do anything crazy to be successful, but she made it very clear, I want to be a singer. And she was very aware that it would not be easy for her versus Archie, who is a teenage white boy who's also, is named after him, Archie Comics, so he's very important. But one time he was trying to sing with them or trying to do something. Josie was like, no. This is our only opportunities. It's already hard for us. Of course she didn't say this verbatim, I'm paraphrasing, but, she understood that whatever will take her and the Pussycats forever to get, he can get within seconds, So she was very firm to her blackness. They didn't make her like pro-black, but they didn't whitewash her or water her down to make her fit in with the predominantly white cast, because it's pretty much white people at that school, it is what it is. She's the only black person, if you want to count the Pussycats, but she's the only black person out of the whole cast. I think the girl who's playing Veronica Lange, she could be Hispanic. The girl who's playing her, Camila Mendez, she could be Hispanic or Latino. I don't know. So, and then Reggie Mantle, I think he's mixed. He's half Asian. I'll let you guys decide when I put a picture. But so yeah, Josie was just very connected. That's how they made her out to be. She wanted to be a singer. She tried to look past the craziness Riverdale always has, and she wanted to be a singer, And of course, she had to deal with her mom, who was the mayor of the town. Of course, her mom was going through stuff. People were probably being racist, of course. Black woman as the mayor in their town. How do you think they're going to react? It's not a predominantly black town, so she had to help her mom too. And she has to deal with these crazy friends over here who are into crazy stuff and have totally different personalities. Some are insane, some are deranged, some of them just act, So she had to deal with them, and then she had to deal with the Pussycats, So, and then of course they got into fights with, because they always suspected Josie wanted to be solo, which she did. And eventually, she did that. So, I'll get into that later. But, so that was her in season 1. I don't want to keep going on and on. She wasn't showing that much. So, she's not you know, the main focus. You know, even though she's a main character, she's not the main focus. So now, season 2. Now, season 2 is where I noticed things started to shift now. It's like the writers were slowly kind of not letting her serve a purpose. So now every time you see her on camera, she's just singing. Even though I know she's supposed to be a singer, but she doesn't have to sing every time the camera's on her. Like, everybody else can have a whole bunch of lines and can do this and that. And then you got Josie, who's always on camera, but she's usually singing most of the time. And then, you know, every now and then she'll get a talking line back and forth with somebody. And, you know, but she's not getting, it's like the writers kind of are slowly trying to get her away a little, you know, like, and it started off, like, you notice the Pussycats were going too, like, you didn't see them anymore after season 2, you know, like, they just, because Josie, she wanted to be a solo artist, so of course, I guess the writer said, well, if she's a solo artist, what's the point of the Pussycats? So, I guess they just wrote them off, but I think it was another reason to that, and it was like, I mean, you didn't have to write them off, but whatever, and the only time, like, one of them got their own storyline finally, but her storyline had to be wrapped up with Archie's, so she couldn't even get her own storyline. Then the other one, she never got one. The writers were terrible, didn't even try, so, yeah. And Josie, like I said, she's singing half of the time, and she gets, every now and then, she gets times to speak. I'm not saying she did not speak at all, or ever had lines, or ever did anything, but again, the show wasn't focusing on her, especially in season 2. It's like they were slowly trying to get her away. Now they want to focus on the core 4, which is Archie, Betty, Jughead, Veronica. Core 4. And then, of course, with Cheryl being there, but she's not a part of the core 4. But she gets more screen time than Josie, which is sad, but it is what it is. The writers let whoever's the most popular on camera, I guess, and the ones who the fans don't really care about push it to the back. So that's what I guess. So that's season 2, you know, and her character was the same. I mean, her character didn't really, I don't think it was any character development there. It felt like I was watching the same Josie since season 1. I do think in season 2 she was acting more fearful and not as I don't know, just she was very fearful because there was something going on in the town. So she was probably fearful of that. Well, I'm sure she was. Then she was still trying to figure out her career, you know. But she kind of felt, but she didn't really, I mean, she didn't change completely. You know, she's still Josie, but it was just a little bit of a character switch in her personality or demeanor. Probably one or the other or both, but yeah, just a little bit more fearful. And she couldn't focus too much on her music, really, you know, because she just really couldn't. There was some craziness going on in town. If you watch season 2, you know the craziness that was going on. So yeah, I'll go on and on about that. That's how she was in season 2. That's my thoughts on her right here. And now let's go to season 3. On season 3, I'll say she got more attention on there. And I think that's because the writers knew she was leaving, because she's going to do Katie King, the spinoff I was just mentioning not too long ago. So maybe the writers said, okay, well, let's give her some screen time real quick, you know. So that's what they did. Wait, I forgot something. I'm so sorry. In season 2, I'm going to try to look for it so I can just show evidence. But in season 2, the reason why I was why I speculated that she was not getting any attention is because someone actually confirmed what I was thinking. They said, yeah, they only use her so she can sing for diversity points. And that's literally how it came off in season 2. I'm so sorry that I just switched back like that. It just came to me. So I'm going to try to find evidence to show y'all exactly why I felt like they were slowly trying to get her off. Yeah, I'll try to look for it. Don't count on it. because this was posted last year or a year before that. So it might take me a minute, but I should find it. Okay. I just wanted to say that. Now, back to season 3. I know I just switched, I'm sorry, but back to season 3. Okay. So I was saying, I said she was getting more attention in season 3. Now, yeah, like I said, because I think the writers knew she was leaving because she has to go to Katie Keene now. So they tried to give her more attention, which I had no problem with. I mean, she's a main character, right? Why not give her attention? You know, why keep putting her, why treat her like she's a minor character? She's supposed to be, like, she's literally an importance in the comic book, you know? So she's supposed to be getting that same attention, you know? But anyway, so I thought it was good, you know? But then I was kind of like, okay, so you guys are making her act like a mammy kind of to Archie. You put her with Archie, not really sure why. Archie's been with so many girls, you know? You could have just gave Josie her own storyline. You didn't have to throw her with Archie, who was already having too many problems. And why did Josie have to deal with that, you know? I didn't like that. And then before that, they had put her with Sweet Pea, but maybe it was just a summer fling, because when it came back, if I'm not mistaken, it was 4th of July. Like, they filmed this, I guess, around that time, so it was 4th of July. So again, it could have just been a summer fling with her and Sweet Pea, but I'm like, okay, now she's with Archie now. I don't get it. Why show us when she's with Sweet Pea, it seemed like they had a relationship or something. It was confusing. But again, it could have just been a summer fling. So yeah, season 3, she was a lot more mellowed down. I noticed that. Very mellowed down. She wasn't as, not saying she was hyped before, but very soft-spoken and mellowed down this time. She was a little different in season 3 compared to season 1 and season 2. She was a lot more mellowed down and more soft-spoken. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they made her like that. Maybe there was something going on with the actress at the time. But yeah. But yeah, I don't like her being with Archie. I mean, just give her own storyline. Just give her own storyline, you know. But I mean, it was still good to see her a lot more often, you know. So that was great. Now, season 3, Now, season 4, she was not there except for the opening, because sadly, one of the guy who was playing Archie's father, I think his name is Luke Perry. I hope I'm not wrong. I'm sure that's his name. But he passed away in real life. And of course, you know, they're gonna just, they're not celebrate, no, but like remembering him, of course, in real life. And then of course they want to do it on the show, so it doesn't look like the show just didn't care and just glossed over that. So she was there for that, the opening where they were remembering Luke Perry and just honoring him. You know, he's been there since season 1, and it's very different. It was very different without him. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of made a difference. You know, and of course it's sad in real life that he passed away. But I don't know, that was sad. I couldn't believe that either, you know. And if you, I don't know if you guys know this. This is like an actual fact about the show. But a lot of the parents that are playing like the parents, like the teenagers' parents, most of them are people you've seen before. Like they were on either a hit 80s show or a hit 80s movie, a hit 90s movie, a hit 90s show. And I didn't realize that, because I didn't realize Molly Ringwald was in that. You know, she's known for The Breakfast Club. She's right there. And then I remember Jughead's dad, he was in Scream, like the one from the 90s. I'm like, I knew these parents look familiar, you know? Yeah. I don't know, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, wow. So the casting director just grabbed known people who were big back in the day, you know, brought them on here, which is good, you know. I just wanted to say that. I went off topic. Sorry. But yeah, that was the last time you saw Josie. And she was nowhere, according to Google or Wiki, hope I'm saying that right. She was not in any more season 4. It was just for the opening act so she can honor her castmate who passed away. So yeah, that was not a happy episode. Didn't really enjoy it. That was sad. It's never good to lose somebody, you know. But you know, life. You know. So yeah, that's season 4 Josie. And okay, yeah. That's it. Again, you didn't see her again, so there's not much to say about season 4 her. But she was basically like the same on. She had the same attitude she had on season 3, you know. And I'm sure she was she was even more sad on season 4 because she's at a funeral or a memorial. I'm sorry, I don't know if it was a funeral or memorial, you know. So of course she'll be a lot more sadder, a lot more toned down, and you know, not really into it, you know. So yeah. And she was not in season 5 at all. Yeah, because she was doing Katie King. So, and the writers actually said, like, they had to write her off. So they said she was down in Riverdale. She was leaving. She's going to New York. And hopes to, you know, get a record deal or something. You know what I mean? She wants to start her solo career. So she left. She left Riverdale. And she went to New York, where she met people, and yeah. I wish I could tell you what possibly what happened next with the show canceled, like I said earlier. So yeah. So Riverdale just completely wrote her off, you know, just completely wrote her off. The Pussycats, again, you haven't seen them since season 2. If I'm not mistaken, you probably hadn't. I'm mistaken. Yeah, season 2. I don't think they ever made a cameo. They were mentioned or they came back. I think that was the last time you saw both of them. So now all 3 of them are gone. They're not there. So that's it. Now, I want to say this about Riverdale before I go. So I noticed Riverdale does this with their black characters. So it wasn't just Josie. Anytime they have a black character, they always just write them off randomly, or you just know nothing about them. You just know maybe 1 or 2 things. Like there was a black male character named Chuck, all the way in season 1, who I thought was like gonna keep being there. Like he was like always on camera. He always had lines, but you didn't know nothing about him. Like, what did you know his parents? Did you know anything? You knew nothing about him. That's the writers for you. And then he was randomly gone. No cameo, you didn't hear him again. You literally haven't seen him since season 1. And then there was, of course, Principal Weatherby. I'm sure he was there for season 1 and 2. I think just for both seasons. I don't think he was there anymore, you know, because I think the kids were kind of like, not out of school, but they weren't really filming in school too much, you know. They doing other stuff. So, but he was a black male character. And what did you know about him? Nothing. I don't think you ever saw his family. I don't think you ever heard nothing about him. You just knew he was a mean principal who did not tolerate foolishness. So, again, randomly wrote him off. Where is he? Where is Principal Weatherby? And then in season 3, you had another black male character named Mad Dog, who was in jail who was in jail. That's how you met Archie. What do you know about Mad Dog? That he had a bad home life. I mean, that's really all you knew. You know nothing else. And then they randomly just wrote him off. I mean, I don't think I've seen him since season 4. I mean, since season 3, excuse me. Knew nothing about him. And then there was this another girl who actually called out Riverdale. Actually said this. I'll put the link. She actually said this in July of this year. And she actually, her real name is Bernetta, but on the show she was named Peaches and Cream. And she said, and she basically just said, I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember verbatim. And yeah, they basically just treated her like a side character. Like, she served no purpose. Like, I have no memory of this character. Okay? And I remember all the black characters on the show, so I have no memory of her. She probably was on there for a hot second. And then, you know, I have no idea what happened to her. And then, okay, and now we have Tony. She's also in the comic book. She's an actual person in the book. Her name is Tony Topaz. And I might do a character review on her. I might. But, so, she joined the show on season 2. Okay? She's been here since season 2, which came out in 2018. I think beginning of 2018. We are on season 5. No, season 6 now. If I'm not wrong, we're on season 6 now. What do you know about Tony? Like, what do you know? She's a serpent and she's bisexual. What else do you know? She's been on here. She's been on this thing for a while. And you know nothing. Okay? We don't know her parents, her grandparents. We don't know nothing. And anytime and the only time, and it seemed like it got worse, because on season 2, she did have her own, storyline. But it seemed like it was getting worse, because now in the next season, you literally couldn't see her without Cheryl, who was her girlfriend on the show. So the only time we can hear or see from her is when she's underneath Cheryl. Great. So you guys basically just kind of did what you did with Josie. You wrote her down. You know, she started off as important, and then you wrote her down to make her kind of like a minor character now. Yeah. No. And then I'm trying to remember if there was, Melanie and Valerie, who were part of the Pussycats. Same thing. Just written off. I don't think you learned nothing about them. Actually, you didn't learn nothing about them. You didn't know who their parents were. You couldn't even describe their personalities probably. Like, you knew nothing. Okay? Nothing. So, I just noticed that was a pattern. It's a pattern with Riverdale. Bring black characters. You start them off as like they're gonna be important. Like, they trick you. Like, they're gonna start off as important. And then along the way, as the season keeps moving, you slowly just write them off to make them a minor character. And you trick us. You trick us. They did that with Josie. Made her start off like she was very important, and then just slowly rend her off. Yeah, I gotta say, the writers are clever. They know how to trick you. Because I thought all these people were important. So, yeah, forget you Riverdale writers for doing that. You know, don't trick us like that, especially the black fans. We're thinking we have some representation on here, and then you just get rid of them, or you just slowly try to make them go away. But whatever. These black characters deserved better. This is not up for discussion. They deserved better. And of course, Josie deserved better than to be treated like a minor character, and she's on the posters. Like, she's literally a part of the main cast, and you just keep throwing her and just throwing her over here, and okay, we need you now, come sing, and that's all you need her for, Like, why do that to her? Just ruin the whole perfect character And she was probably not even like that in the comic books. So, yeah, maybe those comments were right that I read. They probably just want her for diversity, you know, to look like they're diverse. What other reasoning could there be, you know? So, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like, a thumbs down if you don't. Leave comments if you have suggestions on who I should do a review on next. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that it's so long, but you know, Josie, there's a lot to say about this character. There's a lot to say about how she's treated on the show. And again, you guys, it's 5 seasons, if I'm not wrong. You know, it's 5 seasons. So yeah, I said some videos were going to be long, and I said some were going to be very short. So sorry this is so long. But thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Goodbye.